I did the Snyder Cut watch with Superhero
We
Speak,
did.
which
Hmm.
was really fun. And not sure if you know, but on just this podcast alone, you had me, Volsker, and Jay ready to hate the thing. And we all watch it. And we're like, hey, this is, cut out the last half hour and we're good to go. So I just want to make
Same.
mention that you two were all primed and ready to go, as we're
I
watching it.
I prepped jokes that I wasn't able to use because I
Yeah.
just really got into the movie. Like, to the last half hour, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was such a better film than I was expecting, and it was such a better film than we got the first time around that maybe my expectations were so far lowered that I was like, okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, and I liked it. Like, it was fun. Like, the last half hour is painful, but
Yeah.
I just wanted it to end. But
Yeah.
like, I liked it. It's a good movie. I don't think I'll give 4 hours of my life to watching it again, but
Right.
it was fine.
You don't want to watch the black and white version now?
No, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
saw
it
it.
3 times, and even I'm going to stop at the black and white. I'm good. I'm good with that.
That's that's 12 hours. That's a lot of time.
It's a Lord of the Rings
I
binge.
gotta. I
It
don't. I don't know
is.
what to tell you. I like it. I don't know.
It's
Just the
good. Yeah.
small things that they changed. I'm really into.
I mean, it's
I didn't. Yeah.
good
It's.
outside the
I did
Leto.
a. Yes, yes. I did a write up for one of the sites I write for, talking about the movie, and like, I think it's unfair in some ways to compare the Snyder Cut to the Joss Whedon movie, because we weren't
Yeah.
going to get a 4 hour version of that movie. Like, in a Zack Snyder's movie had been released 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, it wouldn't be the same because they weren't going to put that thing out like all of the slow motion, which again in the context works fine. But
Yeah.
they wouldn't quite have done that. And this movie does have the benefit of hindsight because they got to see what didn't work both times around and they made it better. So I mean, I'm all for that too. Like, I think you should keep working on something until you're happy with it. Like, I didn't have a problem with George Lucas going back and tweaking his movies. They're his movies.
Yeah.
So whatever makes my viewing experience better, I'm all for. I think it's just hard. I think it's unfair to compare the two of them in terms of, well, look what they were able to do versus what they were able. Look what this was able to this time around. When like I saw one shot where there's comparing the Wonder Woman sequence in the bank, like where they're doing side by side editing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, it's twice as long and it is twice as good, but you don't release 4 hour action movies to the theaters. Like, we're
Right.
in very unique circumstances where you could get away with that, and I'm glad it's like they figured out a way to release a movie on a new platform to people that really wanted to see it. And I didn't have to leave my house and sit in a different chair for 4 hours. I got to do it in my office right here
Right.
with you guys and it was fun. So it's a different kind of viewing experience, and
Yeah.
on the whole, I liked it.
I agree with you there, JD. One thing though, we know from Snyder's kind of repertoire, it would have been probably a 2.5 hour movie. Then
Well,
he
yeah,
would
for
have
sure.
4 different cuts, just like Watchmen.
Yeah, that's true. But those like don't count, right? Like every time a director's cut gets released to DVD, it like does. Yeah, it just like, but it's not the movie that everyone goes to see at the theater. Like, in my mind, that's like the canonical version of the movie is the one that gets the theatrical release. Because yeah, most times directors' versions are better.
Yeah.
But again, we weren't going to quite get that in the
Studios
theaters.
would have stepped in and told him he had to cut it down.
Yeah, and luckily now we're living in the post-apocalyptic world where there is no studios. They're just trying to
Yeah.
struggle to survive.
Like, I think they should just do, if they don't want to theatrically do it, just do the Snyderverse, like bring it back and do it as a HBO Max. I guarantee you they would have subs.
See, that's the thing is, I don't think we're going to get the. I think Warner's ready to kind of like be with all that. And I think he is too. But they're going to take like the elements of that universe and kind of keep it going. Because I mean, it's not like they're going to restart Wonder Woman and Shazam. They just started shooting Black
Yeah.
Adam. So I mean, they all really take place in the same universe. It's not going to go quite the direction he had in mind. And based on the last half hour, I'm okay with that.
Well,
Right.
he also just signed a huge ass deal with Netflix where he's doing the new
Good
zombie
for him.
franchise that he's doing, which
Yeah.
actually looks pretty sweet. That has Batista as the lead.
I like that. I like Dawn of the Dead. Like, his Dawn of the Dead remake is pretty fun. So if he's got more of that in him, great. I've seen him with superheroes. I'd like to see him do something else now.
It's like it's half heist film, half zombie film.
Love that.
So it's
Interesting.
actually really cool. You should check out the trailer.
It sounds like because I like the genre mashups. That's kind of what I do with a lot of my stuff. So I'm into it.
Mhm.
That sounds cool.
Good stuff.
Batman sucks. So
Yeah.
I remember this from the last time I was on the show. Yes, I know you're anti-Batman.
Being Robert Pattinson, yeah, that movie's gonna pull.
Very.
As long as
Yeah,
somebody shoots that guy in the face, I'm indifferent. Although I did like the Snyder Cut. It made me go back and because I never really understood the Snyder verse so far. Like I didn't understand that Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and what was supposed to be Justice League was the Snyderverse. I didn't, because I don't care about DC. So now that I kind of understood it, before the Snyder Cut came out, I watched Batman vs Superman and the original Justice League, and I was like, I hate you guys for making me do that to myself. But then now that the Snyder Cut is out, Batman vs Superman has a completely different context, and that it makes that movie better.
I still don't like that movie, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's trash. It's terrible. Like it gives it. But that's my point. My point is Batman sucks. That whole movie is Batman being the worst
you're
detective
100%
ever.
Right. In that particular movie, Batman is awful. Yes, it is. It's
the worst. But
yes.
That Batman is every time I see Batman, that's what it is. So it was like, oh, this is just like every Batman movie put together in one. All right, cool. Like, you see how trash he is. But then but like I said, when you put the Snyderverse into it, the Snyder Cut into it, realize that he realizes that he messed up. I mean, he realized that he messed up in the original Justice League, but it was just like, I messed up, and then like that was it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't really like a whole movie, 4-hour movie where the dude is like trying to repent for the shitty detective work for the last movie or whatever.
So I agree. I like the character arc way better in this movie than in the previous, because it feels like he's making up for being a shitty superhero.
And it makes me want to see like a Batfleck, get shot in his face. That's what it needs to happen in the last scene of any Ben Affleck Batman, or actually any Batman movie ever. It needs to happen is either I'm sorry for this is a Titan spoiler, but they're on season 3, so get off my nuts. When Dick Grayson, breaks his neck with his foot, that needs to happen every time, or he gets shot in the face. One of the two needs to happen, or it's not a true Batman film to me.
I just want Deathstroke versus Batman. Like that's probably the second complaint, is that with that cliffhanger at the end of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Just that should have gone into the Batfleck film, and that pisses me off that we're not getting it.
What should have gone in the Batfleck film, you're saying?
Where they changed it, because remember in Whedon's cut, it was, hey, Deathstroke, I'm building
League of Our Own. Yeah.
Hey, it's Bruce Wayne, go kill him. Batfleck's film was actually the movie about him versus Deathstroke.
Yeah, I'd have gotten into that. That'd been
fucking sweet.
Yeah, we're getting robbed.
Yeah.
There's Sparkle Batman.
Yeah. I want to see the Robert Pattinson, more of that before I make a judgment call on it. I'm kind of ambivalent toward it at the moment. I'm kind of like, see what happens.
Well, I think the fact that it's an Earth 2 Batman is going to give him a lot of breathing room, or at least I think that's what they're going for. So it's not the.
They got to do it in the beginning. It's like Earth 2, where bitch ass whiny superheroes are more bitch ass and whiny.
That is going to be so hard to like. That's going to be a tough sell, I think, for people. Yeah. This is a different universe, Batman. This Batman's over here, but this Batman's over here. Like in comics, that works because you kind of know what you're getting going in, right?
Yeah.
But with normal people, I don't know if that's going to work quite as well. We're going to find out.
It's like nobody at all. Robert Pattinson. I'm Batman. I sparkle like a sun.
God.
And I won't work out.
Yeah, I didn't know. I prefer my Batman to at least doing some push-ups. Like,
do some push-ups, bro. Over here, sparkling in the sun and shit.
He'll be wiry,
diamond skin ass.
Nothing wrong with being able to flick your hair.
Well, I mean, coming from somebody that Batman shouldn't have that emo look. Where
You figure it'd be hard to wear the mask with all that hair. I'll give you
But
that.
then you know what though? I will say that Robert Pattinson Batman is a little more believable than Titans Batman.
No, I haven't watched Titans. So
I never watched Titans.
Good show, but bad Batman. Because
can it be worse than Gotham's Batman at the end, where the suit didn't even fit and it was all like flabby?
Oh, I don't even know what that looks like. I'm about to look it up.
that
Best
was
Batman
Gotham was
is Teen Titans Go Batman because he's just doing shenanigans and laughing at people.
Right.
I like Teen Titans Go Batman. I like Teen Titans Go. That's a fun show.
Of course,
There
I'm
you
one
go.
of the
I'm about to look
boomers
it up
that
right now.
whine about wanting the original back, but yeah, Cartoon Network isn't for me.
That Teen Titans Go movie was awesome.
It was
It was funny.
fantastic. It was fantastic. I loved it. We watched it because I got the 5-year-old. The time he was a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
and I just laughed the whole time. I couldn't believe how entertained I was. It's so silly. Like as long as you don't take it seriously, it's so
Right.
much fun.
So silly. Very
Of-
silly.
Omega Level Nerd D Square here. I hope you enjoyed this little excerpt from our show, the Omega Level Nerds podcast. I really do appreciate you checking us out. If you like what you watched today, then please check us out. There is the link to the whole entire show, over an hour's worth of some nerdy goodness for you. So definitely hope you check it out. Well, thank you very much. As always, peace and love. We'll talk to you again soon.